like you see these players like how they're using it, and you're like, okay, maybe I'll try using it in those situations. And then like you see like all the options it's beating and like the reward. Yeah, exactly. You kind of get to piece the puzzles together. You know, like Jigsaw, like you said, like it's definitely a good strategy. There's lots of different strategies for learning the game and the characters, but that's just one of them. Watching players play is definitely a good way to help improve.
Up on stage, Shadowcat, who was also talking about earlier, versus Trainer Matt.
Shadowcat is hot off a win at Frosty Frostings, which was very stacked.
Exactly.
It had all of the top 5 in from North America in attendance, and he had never won a tournament. Shadowcat's has been like, since Wii U, like talked about as like a top player, but he could never travel to events. And like for all of Wii U, he couldn't travel to events, and only like later in DX, he's recently started traveling, and he's getting to travel more and more now, thankfully. And it's really awesome. Everyone's always wanted to see what he could do offline, and he's just been progressively getting better. He had like a couple like shakier results, like they were still like shaky for him. They were very strong results. Like his first major, I think he beat the best player at the time, Twixie, which is crazy, because he was very dominant at that time. That was his first tournament ever.
Yes,
But he got like 5th, I think, which is, again, super good. It was like a super stacked major.
Very respectable.
Yeah. And then he's gotten like, you know, he's pretty much always placed in top 8 though. He is very, whoa, something happened over there.
Yep.
But he's been very consistent, but he never really won. He's gotten super close so many times, but he never had won. And then Frosty Frostings, 2 weeks ago, happened. He beat everyone. He just beat everyone. Everyone was there, and he just beat people up, man. He showed, I think he really gathered himself and like understood how he needs to play in a tournament, and he showed up big time. So he's hot off a win. He's a favorite to win this tournament. It's gonna be really exciting. Trainer Matt.
Yeah, let's talk about Trainer Matt next.
Yes.
So he's from Toronto, coming all the way from Toronto, and he's the one responsible for getting Blind Elm to this tournament.
Yes, yes,
so give
indeed.
everyone a big thanks. I mean,
Yes.
everyone give a big thanks to Trainer Matt.
Definitely. It's very, he got Elm. That's crazy that he got Elm to this tournament, dude. Like, personally sponsored Elm to make this event better. Like to make it hyper, not better, but like hyper. You know, like bring such a strong foreigner in from Japan to one of the best Japanese players to Canada, and like for this tournament. That's such a crazy generous thing to do. Shows kind of hints at like how passionate he's about the game, how much he cares. It's very, very, very generous of him. And he didn't really make a deal out of it either. It's like it's kind of like a under the table thing, but we're gonna blow him the fuck up for it because it was really nice. It was really cool. He didn't like make a huge deal out of it, but it's a huge deal. It's super nice, and it's not cheap. So it's crazy that he did that. Super, super caring, super nice. Mewtwo versus Darkrai. All right, this I think is expected. You want to say anything to say about it? You want to start off?
That again?
You want to start off?
Alright, so let's start off. So Trainer Matt decided to opt with Mewtwo for this matchup. And with Shadowcat going Darkrai. I know Shadowcat likes to counterpick a lot depending on what character they're facing.
Yes, he's a player who's for a long time now, definitely. He started as a Brace main, but when DX came out and Darkrai came out, he very quickly was like, this is a character I can get behind.
And it's that back X.
Definitely. It's a very, very Shadowcat character. But yeah, getting this back X. You see, now that he's in... Shadowcat's field phase is so clean. It always has been. But that's like accentuated with Darkrai. Because if he wins the field phase in the way he needs to win the field phase, he gets this mode. And now he's just such a good character. He's so strong. It's so hard to deal with. Getting that space pickup, super, super well done. That's something that not a lot of Darkrai players still do, even the best ones.
Trainer Matt's signature Fire Punch, Ice Punch. It's
Yes,
not
yes.
working as well as he had hoped. Shadowcat well aware of how to get around that.
Yeah, Shadowcat very experienced in this matchup. Me and him play all the time. He plays other Mewtwo's as well, like Maul and stuff. He's very, very disciplined. He's probably the best, one of the best Darkrais at this matchup for sure. And just
Ducking underneath Shadowcat very well.
yeah, he's just waiting. He's like, all right, if you want to do this, I'll just wait. He knows. He's very patient. He's a very patient player, very waiting. If you'll come to him, he'll let you. You know.
Shadowcat keeping his distance.
All right, running that match card, very smart.
Shadowcat saving the day.
He's trying to find a place to get an Iron. There it is. Just like that, he's got it. Shadowcat also a player that plays very close attention to stage positioning, moving him forward just a little bit with that stun in that combo. He's like, I have time to do this, so I'm just going to push you further, get him more stage position. He's very, very conscious of that kind of stuff.
Missing the counter attack.
Oh, just setting up this
trap.
Oki. Ah,
Yeah, that is a lot.
stuffing
of
everything
pressure
out.
for him.
Matt doesn't really know what to do.
I can see Chain and Matt is kind of shaking here, very short.
Yeah, it's hard to fight someone who's this disciplined in this matchup. Like, Trainer Matt is a very but there, never mind. I'll shut up. I'll stop talking. Never mind. Trainer Matt finding his hit, finding his fire punches, getting the round. That's a big thing. Getting that, stealing that round was a big deal. And part of that round was, part of the reason he won that round is that he starved Shadowcat of Nightmare for so long. He was able to, avoid the moves that were going to give him Nightmare. Which is very good. But here we go. Round start of the third round. Shadowcat gets Nightmare, so this is going to be really hard for him to come back from. It seems like he really struggles to deal with Nightmare, especially in the neutral.
You can say that about a lot of players.
Definitely.
It's very tough to do.
This is very true. It's a very, very oppressive mode. That's the whole point of the character. Is he gets to this mode and then he just does that.
Yep.
Just does that. He's very, very good. There's counterplay. You can obviously hit him. It's very susceptible to grabs. And Mewtwo's a character that gets phase shifts off of a lot of his hits. He's able to convert into that if he so wishes. Or at least knockdowns to put him in a position to get a phase shift in this matchup. But you have to know what buttons to use. Fighting against Darkrai, you have to accept, all right, I'm not using a lot of my kit. I mean, you need to find the buttons that work, and you'd be like, all right, we're playing with these. And Fire Punch can work. Obviously, we saw it. He took a round with it, so obviously it can work. But it is susceptible to getting stuff, and with moves as active as Nightmare, Darkrai Rifts, it can be really hard. Wow. That's not something you see very often in Pokken. Two players grabbing at the same time, and neither one of them interacting. Kind of interesting. But Matt won the first field phase, but wasn't able to make a whole lot out of it.
Very smart from Shadowcat, walking to the side so he can work. Trainer Matt against the core.
Yeah, definitely. Again, super aware of positioning and stuff like that. And Trainer Matt trying to Fire Punch out, trying to get out. He really banks on Fire Punch. He has a strategy around it. But Shadowcat again, just so disciplined, very. Just understanding of like the rhythm he needs to like be stuffing it, like when he needs to be doing moves to like stuff out fire punches.
Ooh, a big flash. But Shadowcat predicting the counter attack and getting the grab.
Definitely, yeah. Trainer Matt kind of at a loss here. It seems like he's kind of got his back against the wall. He's definitely not out, but it's gonna be a lot. He's gonna have to make a lot of adjustments, I think.
That's a punish. Back into Nightmare, bro. Bad dream fights.
Going for a big read and not paying off. Paying off for Shadowcat, actually. Shadowcat, I don't know. I don't know, Shadowcat, like, got crossed up there, but also, yeah, that was great awareness. Comboing the Focus Blast into the Fire Punch. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that combo.
Shadowcat's Nightmare Ruts are definitely exceptional. He's very knowledgeable, and he's labbed a lot of, like, what combos he wants to do for, like, what kind of Oki and stuff. He mixes it up a lot. Very overwhelming because he doesn't just do one Oki, Like if you're new, like if you don't understand this matchup in and out, it's very hard when someone mixes up what kind of Oki they're doing because they're like, oh, I have to assess a new thing every time. It's really like it just adds like the overwhelming presence like Shadowcat has. Another reason why he's like he would be referred to as like someone who's very good at gatekeeping people.
Speaking of which, that was actually the set for Shadowcat.
Yeah, that was very swift.
Very swift.
Yeah, Matt just